Alright, we got Dr. Cimmerian back at it again. We had him yesterday. We had them yesterday with 2613, which I just made the thumbnail today. Why? That's the funeral car that resurrects the military corpses for a short moment because they don't stay alive. They only stay alive inside that car. That's it. We had that yesterday with Dr. Cimmerian, and now we have knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Oh my god, I need to rewatch Angel Beats, guys, because I know it's a song. But I can never forget TJ just like sliding down the pole by the stairs and starting like shooting people and just going knocking on heaven's door. Good times. Angel Beats is like, it's like an anime. It's definitely like one of those animes that catches you by surprise. What has happened here? This image is gone. Okay, maybe it's down here somewhere in the files. Unless let's reload the. Nope, it's just okay. Upper class Euclid. Special Foundation procedures. Foundation forces are to maintain a flight. Can I? Nope. Oh wait, opening image new tab. There we go. Foundation forces are to maintain a flight restricted zone above SB 2621. This restriction is to be enforced on all non-Foundation aircraft. A fence perimeter of 2 kilometers is to be maintained at all times surrounding SB 2621. My nose is itchy, wants me to sneeze, but I'm reading. Foundation survey, excavation, and exploration of SB 2621 must be approved by the 2621 project director, the ethics committee, and the current O5 supervisory member for the 2621 project. Satellite and ground-based surveillance is to be carried out regularly on the site, and any changes in the behavior of -1 instances are to be reported to the 2621 project director. High-level surveillance of SB 2621 is to be carried out daily for a period of 6 months following the conclusion of Operation 1 and any future operations. Okay, let's see if that worked. It did not. It's back gateway, so let's see if it's down here maybe. Here we go, image. Okay. I just think that this is not working anymore. Oh, wait. Oh, we got it to work. Image of SCP-2621 entrance used during Operation 1 by MTF Epsilon 3's combat trained archaeologists. Okay. Description: SB-2621 is a collection of ruins approximately 16 kilometers south of the city of Hila, Iraq. Is that how you say it, or is it not? Let's see how to pronounce this. Yeah, fucking off.
Hila.
Hila? Okay, that makes sense, like hill, and then okay, Hila. Okay. Iraq. Physical approach of closer than 1.3 kilometers to SB-2621 is difficult due to the presence of several entities, identified hereafter as -1 instances, around the ruins perimeter. These instances attempt to prevent outside access to SB-2621. -1 vary in appearance, but most are exceptionally tall, winged, and white-clothed humanoids carrying swords. So it is literally a heaven's door, like, as in, like, there probably is the entrance to heaven, and those the angels be like, ID. Can you imagine, like, an angel? Imagine if, like, you go to heaven, and an angel is a bouncer instead. Well, which technically they are. Is it St. Peter's? Who, like, is, like, you know, making sure, like, if you're allowed into heaven or not, like, he's, like, there by the gate. But imagine, like, instead of like looking at your history and be like, okay, you were a good person, you're allowed to enter. Instead of doing that, you're just going like ID, and you're like, I didn't bring any with me. Sorry, pal. Sorry, pal. Can't allow you to enter here. Then, you gotta go back. What do you mean go back? You gotta go back. Ow. Resurrection, brother. You going back down there. Please no. Wington before, yep. Carrying swords. While the majority of SCP-2621 is only accessible via an underground cavern, several ruined buildings still stand above ground. The actual instances use several of these ruined structures as access points for the underground caverns. SCP-2621 is believed to have been inhabited during a period of time lasting between 2440 to 2291 BCE. Satellite photography and limited spectrographic analysis indicate that anachronistic materials and methods were used in their construction. Several of these buildings utilize reinforced concrete, a technology that did not see wide use until the mid-1800s. What danger, if any, the central anomaly may represent is currently unknown. As the -1 instances will use lethal force to protect SCP-2621, exploration without military accompaniment is not advised. Level 3 access required. But I saw there was like some audio stuff in the files. But let's see if that's here or not. Operation 1. On August 19, 2016, an archaeological expedition to determine the true nature of SCP-2621 was approved by relevant project staff, the ethics committee, and the supervisory member of the O5 Council for the 2621 project. Several MTFs were assembled for this purpose, including MTF Epsilon 3, the Joneses, MTF Nu 7 Hammer Down, and MTF Tower 5 Samsara. Utilizing satellite imaging of SCP-2621 and behavioral data relating to -1 instances, a plan to acquire information was approved. The Joint Overwatch commander for this operation was designated as Agent Bradley. Gotcha. It was determined that Tower 5 would provide a direct physical distraction for the -1 instances, while Nu 7 will use its aerial assets to assist in rapid insertion and extraction of Epsilon 3 combat-trained archaeologists. All three teams were used during the planning phase and given Overwatch responsibilities alongside the remaining 2621 staff during the operation. The following is an event log detailing this operation. Okay, so we have at 13:12:39. So for everybody who doesn't know how to read military time, that's 1 p.m. Agent Bradley orders ground elements of Tower 5 cross the 1.3 kilometers exclusion zone from the south of SCP-2621 in 2 motorized troop transports. -1 instances posted around the surface of SCP-2621 take to the air and move rapidly to intercept the transports. And then roughly a minute and a half later, 8-1 instances approach the troop transports, the transports stop, and 16 members of Tower 5 exit the vehicle. And literally just 14 seconds later, first contact with -1 instances, all -1 instances draw their sword which ignite immediately in flames. Tower 5 engine engage. Tower 5 engage the -1 instances. It wasn't wasn't that 001 that had that was like an angelic being with a flaming sword? 2 seconds later, Nu 7 begins a rapid northern approach of SCP-2621 with elements of the helicopter squadron. Nu 7 crosses into the exclusion zone without a response from -1 instances. 12 seconds later, Tower 5 has killed or subdued all 8 attacking -1 instances. 18 more -1 instances emerge from below SCP-2621 and begin moving rapidly towards Tower 5. That is... oof. Like more waves of enemy coming at you. 29 seconds later, Nu 7 approaches within 300 meters of SCP-2621 and encounters a previously unidentified hovering entity. This entity appears as a disembodied head at the center of 2 flaming, nested, and perpendicular wheels. The outside of both wheels are covered with golden eyes, which begin to fire several beams at Nu 7. After a second and a half delay, Agent Bradley gives orders to fire AGM-114 Hellfire missiles at this entity. All missiles strike the target, which breaks into pieces and falls to the ground. Nu 7 continues to approach SCP-2621. Now we have another like minute and a half later. Tower 5 encounters the 18 approaching instances of -1. These instances attempt to keep range on Tower 5 and send streams of flame through the swords at Tower 5. These attacks are remarkably inaccurate, and the -1 instances are either incapacitated or killed over a period of 47 seconds. Which I believe this It's almost 40 seconds later. It's like 50 seconds later. 55, yeah, almost a minute. Despite clear weather forecast, the sky begins to darken as New 7 arrives above SCP-2621. A team of 12 Epsilon 3 members rappel into the ruins, while Dash-1 instances are present on the ground. Epsilon 3 meet little hostile resistance. These instances are not armed. Members of Epsilon 3 begin taking samples and collecting data. Yeah, I would say... yeah, 5 minutes and 22 seconds later. Agent Bradley informs Tower 5 of an approaching object. This object appears as a large flaming cross that splits the cloud as it falls to Earth. The object embeds itself in the ground approximately 20 meters from Tower 5, and several dozen Dash-1 instances emerge from the object's glowing side to engage Tower 5. 2 minutes and 10 seconds later, well, 14 seconds, New 7's helicopter squadron begins to be buffeted by the wind and rain. The sudden weather phenomena are well within the equipment's tolerance. Yeah, okay. Ooh, but, ooh, damn. Around like 22 minutes past. Tower 5 has encountered 338 Dash-1 instances at this point. Though the initial flow of instances has slowed considerably, Tower 5 sets up a perimeter around the glowing cross and begins to pick off instances as they exit. 2 minutes later, Epsilon 3 survey and collection window as defined by the engagement plan is concluded. Epsilon 3 returns to the helicopter squadron. Half a minute later, Tower 5 has cleared the engagement zone of all Dash-1 instances with a current tally of 484 instances killed or incapacitated. The MTF has suffered several minor injuries during the engagement but remains at full strength. Agent Bradley orders New 7 to Tower 5's location to assist in their withdrawal from the field operation. By the way, I'm just going to say right now, this does not seem like a good idea. Something tells me that killing like almost 500 of the Dash-1 instances is going to have major consequences. 1 minute and 40 seconds later, New 7 moves south and provides close air support during Tower 5's withdrawal from the battlefield. 17 instances of Dash-1 emerge and are eliminated during this time. The task force general staff conclude that the cross must be destroyed to ensure a safe withdrawal. 1 minute and 40 seconds later, Tau 5 fires several shoulder-mounted rocket launchers while New 7 fires a number of Hellfire missiles at the object. Some pass through the center of the object while others impact the ground surrounding it. The object shatters into shards and collapses. I don't think that's a good idea, dude. 2 minutes 17 seconds later, Tower 5 aborts the troop transport and leave the area, followed by New 7's helicopter squadron. And then, yeah, I would say like around 6 minutes later, several Dash-1 instances slowly exit SB-2621 with their hands above their heads. After several minutes, they begin the process of recovering the injured Dash-1 instances belonging with the corpses. None are armed. I am definitely worried. Level 4 access required. Okay. In the months following this operation, several members of the Joint Task Force suffered psychological issues relating to their experience during the operation. Initial suspicion of long-term memetic or psionic effects were ruled out through testing. Regardless, several members of the team required a full course of amnestics in order to return to operating capacity. Agent Bradley was interviewed by 2621 Project Director Dr. Martinez following these events. Relevant excerpts of that interview are below. Okay. So we have Dr. Martinez. Why do you think some of your team is having so much trouble with the operation? That's hard for me to guess. Ramirez was raised Catholic and he was definitely hit the hardest. His profile lists him as an atheist. Yeah, all of us were for some pretty obvious reasons. Much as I like to think that it's a binary thing, there are levels to that shit. So it's about that faith. I mean, it's one thing to believe that there is no God, it's another entirely to mow down his avenging army like they're made of cardboard. What about you? Even if we hadn't killed 500 of those things out in the desert, I think that collapsed tower at the center is a pretty good sign that some of the Bible might be true. And that doesn't bother you. The Bible paints God as a petty and vindictive son of a bitch. but he's gotta follow rules like every other anomaly I've ever heard of, and we saw some of those rules on the battlefield. So you're not having the same kind of crisis of faith? No. I'm right where I was before this whole business started. If God exists, you can't shoot worth a damn, and I've got close air support. If God exists and he heard that, I don't think he's gonna let this slide, my man. Show artifact listing. Okay, interesting. So I will definitely listen to the audio parts that we found down in the files. Recovered artifacts are currently being evaluated by Foundation staff. A limited number of processed artifacts along with the description are listed below. All members of the 2621 project along with relevant members of Epsilon 3 are currently cleared to examine the listed artifacts under supervision from the 2621 project director. Before I read this, I do want to say it is interesting what Agent Bradley is saying. Like, he basically just got confirmation that perhaps the Bible is actually real in their world, right? Like the events in the Bible could actually have happened. There is a God, but at the end, he has dealt with so many like anomalies that for him God is now an anomaly. It's not a part of his religion anymore. He has probably dealt with so many that he's just like, yeah, well, this is just part of the job. This is just another anomalous creature. Which makes me think again about like how much of this, because of how many SCPs there are, like which part would you then argue is then like not normal anymore? Like which part of the SCPs is not just part of their world's nature? Like some of the SCPs that are created, I'm like, yeah, that's okay, that's not normal. Well, for example, this. So now with this confirming that the Bible might have some truth to it, you know, wouldn't that just mean that like the Bible is now not a symbol of religion, but also an actual factual book? So wouldn't that just be considered normal in their world? Like, what makes them go like, nah, that's definitely not normal. That's an anomaly. That cannot be the case. Like, what are they comparing it to? I know they saw our world where there are no anomalies. I know they can visit our world, but at the end, I'm still curious. Like, what? Because like, if I were to live in the SB Foundation universe, which I hope I would never, after a while, I'll be like, hey guys, I know we're trying to keep normalcy a thing, but there's so many of those things. Like, are we not just are we stopping nature's flow by accident as well? Like, what is going on? But yes, let's go on. Item 0009. Description: a stone inscription removed from a ruined house. Partially translated text: Anu Ubalit, whose second name is Kephalon, son of Anu Balasu Ikbi of Uruk. For the sake of the life of Nimrod, king of the lands, my lord, I widened its ancient foundations and I applied concrete to them. I built and I completed the interior. I brought cellars from Madaru, the strong mountain, and I roofed with them. I installed strong cellar doors at the gates of the cellars. Item 011. Description: a collection of XD spicy text. Come on now. Definitions based on the entrails of sacrificed animals. How the hell? Okay. How are you supposed to like? Ectis who's that's definitely not how to say it. Come on, give me that.
Extispici.
Extispici. Definitely not. So what? Okay, fuck it. Pertinent except from the collection. The king will bring the property of the temples into the tower and they will be exposed to the sun. The man's father will die. The god Marduk will thunder in the land. If the top of the station is pierced right through, the end priestess will repeatedly steal sacred property. They shall seize her and burn her. The farmer will kill his brother. The messengers of the gods will breach the city walls. The peoples of Babylon will be scattered before the winds. The god Marduk will thunder and devour the land beneath. The tower will be lost. Item 12. Description: a roll inscription on a stone tablet removed from the central building, SCP-2621. Excerpt of translated text: Nimrod, Great King, Mighty King, King of the World, King of Babylon, King of the Lands, Provider of Eric, Akkad and Kalne of the Sinai, foremost heir of King Kush, the Sumerian King of Babylon, am I. Marduk, wisest of the gods, the proud one, who is worthy of praise, look favorably upon me. And your supreme command, whose command is unalterable, made the downfall of the land of my foe, the achievement of my successors, triumphant victory over my enemies. A just rule, a prosperous reign, years of happiness, and the full enjoyment of great old age be a gift for the son of Kush, King Nimrod, forever. May I build a tower to reach to the sun. May I create a bridge between earth and heaven. May I break your exalted tablet, which preserves the boundary of heaven and earth. Upon this purpose may my days be long, my years many, may my throne be secure and my reign lengthy. And then item 13, description. A building inscription from a tablet removed from the same building as item 12. Summary of translated text. The text describes a building 24 kush, around 8 meters wide, and 7 nindan, around 39.8 meters tall. In comparison, the tallest building today is 828 meters tall. Not sure why there was a comparison part in this, but sure. Okay, so so is this like just a interview being
Well, that's hard
spoken?
for me to guess. I mean, Ramirez was raised Catholic.
Yeah, okay, we don't need that. Cool though, I like that. There we go. Okay. Okay. I think I heard my phone go off. Yeah. Our chickens in Ibiza have found a new tree to sleep. Our chickens don't like to sleep in the coops. They just sleep on branches. I can show you guys one picture. Actually, should I show it like this? Without hopefully showing my contacts to see if that's possible. Okay, no, I'm gonna save the image. And then just put the image here. What do you mean? Come on now. Okay, hold on guys, sorry about that. But yeah, no, it's to speak about the SCP, of course. It's very interesting how it looks like this definitely affected people with faith in the Bible and in Christianity, right? That like they just fought against basically the army of God and killed 500 of them. And it looks like, I wonder what the other -1 instances are that don't have weapons. Like, who are they? What do they represent? Here, look guys, here are the chickens. They just found a branch. These are not the only ones. There's like, we have more. But yeah, they're just chilling on the branch. I love how like beautiful chickens as well. Like I don't think I got a chance to meet these ones yet. I got to see the other ones, but not these ones. That's what can you do? They live their own style. As long as none of the neighbor dogs attack them again, because it happened like twice. It's really Ibiza and dogs. They. First of all, like a lot of people in Ibiza don't treat dogs really well. Like they, like I remember growing up there and hearing like dogs like bark in the neighborhood because, you know, they're like forced to stay outside, and sometimes the owner would just fucking go on vacation, just leave the dog to like survive by themselves. Like it is really frustrating to be around that. And as a kid, you first didn't fully understand, and you thought like, oh, the dog's just, you know, just bored. But then like you hear, like you see like, oh no, they're just stuck outside. They don't really they don't really get to do anything. They have to like find food for themselves, but like of course instead of doing that, they just hope that the owner would let them in and feed them. It has gotten better. It has gotten better, but like yeah, there's still some neighborhoods where that's still the case, which is fucking stupid.